Okay, so now we're actually going to use the riveting press to produce some rivets in this bit of nickel silver. So as you can probably guess from the bits that are still on it, this is actually a part of the scrap fret from the 48XX chassis kit from High Levels that I'm building at the moment. One of the good things, one of the very clever things about Chris Gibbons, the designer of these, is that when it comes to making rivets that go on the parts of the kit, he actually includes in the scrap etch a series of half-etched spares which you can then use to practice with. So if you're doing this by hand with a scriber, as it were, like that, or tapping it with a little toffee hammer, then you can get a sense for how hard you have to hit them to get the right size rivets. Of course, what I'm going to be doing is using the press itself. So what I now need to do is put this above the anvil, and so that try and get my fingers out of the way, so that the striker pinches into the hole, holding it in the right place above the anvil. And because I don't need to hit it or anything like that, I just push down with the lever, release it, and if I turn that over, it should be possible to see a rivet's been formed there. And by using the set screw that I referred to earlier, I can make sure that they're all exactly the same. Now, there was one question that I had about whether it makes a difference whether you're using the half-etched pre-spaced, predefined rivets, or whether you're going to punch directly into a piece of strip. And one of the advantages of a tool like this, as opposed to, say, punching rivets out on a piece of lead or something like that, is that you can actually use the shape and the size of the anvil to meet the punch to make a rivet that is almost exactly the same. So looking at where that is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a bit of virgin nickel silver, as it were, which is close to it. I'll position it in the right place, move my hand out of the way, press down as hard as I can, and see what result I get. And there we have, slightly offline, because I didn't look at it that closely, the rivet through the bare metal. There is a touch more definition with it, deformation with it, which I can see with the naked eye. And there's also a touch of deformation just visible here. But I'm looking at this through a set of magnifiers that I have on my head. I've got my optivisor on. But generally, it has produced pretty much exactly the same result. So hopefully that answers the question and demonstrates how this works. I'll post this now, and if there's any follow-up questions, please put something on the forum and I'll do my best to answer it. Thank you for listening.